You might already be on your way to becoming rich and not even realize it. I'm about to show you 7 signs that you're building wealth right now, even if your bank account doesn't show it yet. Here's what blew my mind. 88% of millionaires didn't realize they were becoming wealthy until they were already there. Now, you've probably been programmed to think wealth looks like flashy cars and designer clothes. But that's the biggest lie society tells us. The people flashing wealth on social media, most of them are broke. Meanwhile, real millionaires drive used cars, shop at discount stores, and look like everyone else. There are 7 invisible signs that you're building real wealth, and if you recognize even 4 of these in your life, you're further ahead than 90% of people your age. I'm on a mission to help as many people as possible reach financial freedom completely for free, and in the next bit of time we have here, I'm revealing the 7 signs you're becoming rich without realizing it, plus the mindset shift that separates the truly wealthy from everyone else. But first, let me tell you about the biggest lie society tells us about wealth. Society has programmed us to believe that rich people look rich. We think wealth means luxury brands, expensive restaurants, and constant upgrades. But here's the truth that might shock you. Most actual millionaires drive used cars and live in modest homes. The people flashing wealth on social media, most of them are broke. They're spending every dollar they make trying to look rich instead of actually becoming rich. Meanwhile, the real wealthy people are invisible. They look just like everyone else, maybe even less flashy. This is why you might be becoming rich without realizing it. You're not looking for the right signs because you're looking for the wrong definition of wealth. Real wealth isn't about what you spend, it's about what you keep, what you invest, and how you think about money. So what are the real signs that you're building wealth? The first one will completely change how you see money. Sign number 1 is money becomes a utility, not a fear or idol. This is probably the most important sign on this list, and here's why. Most people have a completely broken relationship with money. They either fear it or worship it, and both attitudes keep them broke forever. If you fear money, you avoid learning about investing, budgeting, or financial planning because it feels overwhelming. Fear makes you avoid the very knowledge that could set you free. You stay in debt, you don't save, you don't invest because money feels like this scary unknown thing. On the flip side, if you idolize money, if you think money will solve all your problems and make you happy, you're also setting yourself up for failure. You'll chase money for the wrong reasons and make terrible financial decisions driven by greed instead of wisdom. But here's the sign you're becoming rich. You start seeing money as a utility. Just like electricity or water, money is simply a tool that helps you accomplish greater things. It allows you to help other people, build businesses, and create the life you want. But it's not something that will fulfill you, and it's not something to be afraid of. When you reach this understanding, when money becomes neutral in your mind, that's when you can start building real wealth, because now you can make logical decisions instead of emotional ones. But changing your relationship with money is just the beginning. The next 3 signs are about your behavior, and these are where you can really see if you're on the wealth building path. Sign number 2 is you stop trying to look rich. If you're on the trajectory of becoming rich, you stop caring what other people think about your financial choices. You don't need a fancy car that puts you into debt. You don't need that expensive house with the massive mortgage. You don't need the prestigious education that costs $200,000. Instead, you're willing to drive a car you pay for cash. You're willing to buy a house with a 15-year mortgage that's easy to pay off. You're willing to even go to community college and then transfer to finish your bachelor's degree. These choices might not impress people, but they're building your wealth while everyone else is building debt. This is crucial because every dollar you don't spend trying to look rich is a dollar that can work for you. While your friends are making $500 car payments to impress people that they don't even like, you're investing that $500 and letting compound interest make you actually rich. The irony is beautiful. The people trying to look rich stay broke, while the people who don't care about looking rich actually become rich. But stopping the wealth performance is just the beginning. The next sign is even more powerful. Sign number 3, you stop relying on debt. This one is simple but essential. If you want to get rich, don't go into debt. If you go into debt, you're paying interest on payments, which means you're paying more money for things that would have cost less if you just paid for cash. Here's the brutal truth. If you continue to put yourself into debt over 10 to 15 years and you don't break that habit, you're never going to be rich. It's really that simple. Every month you make debt payments is a month you're not building wealth. But here's a sign you're actually becoming rich. You start seeing debt as the enemy of wealth. You pay off your credit cards and never carry a balance again. You avoid car loans by buying used cars with cash. You save up for purchases instead of financing them. This mindset shift is huge because it means you're thinking like a wealthy person. Poor people use debt to buy things they can't afford. Rich people use cash to buy things they can afford. And the money they don't have to shove towards debt is money that they completely invest and build more wealth. But once you've eliminated debt, there's a system you need to build that separates the wealthy from everyone else. Bringing us to sign 4, of course, you build systems for saving and investing. Building systems isn't as complicated as it sounds. This is simply having a plan for your money and sticking to it automatically. Maybe you save 10% of your income and invest 15% of your income. The key is to have it happen automatically without you having to think about it or make a decision every month. Here's why this is a sign you're becoming rich. Wealthy people don't rely on willpower to build wealth. They rely on systems. They set up automatic transfers so money goes to savings and investments before they can spend it. They make wealth building automatic and spending deliberate. Poor people do the opposite. They spend automatically and try to save whatever's left over. But there's never anything left over, so they never build wealth. When you flip this script and you start paying yourself first and live on what's left, that's when wealth starts building faster than you ever imagined. The system does the work for you even when you're not thinking about it. The final 3 signs I'm about to share is about your mindset and your decision making. And although it's not directly related to personal finance, these might be the most important of all of them. Sign 5 is you say no to things you don't want. Our society has lost the ability to say no, especially when it comes to money. Your friends invite you to an expensive concert for a band you don't even like and you think, how can I say no? It's my friends and it's only $500. But here's the sign you're becoming rich. You get comfortable saying no to things you don't actually want, especially when they cost money. You realize that saying yes to everything is saying no to your financial future. This skill is amazing because it means you're sticking to your values and your financial goals, instead of just going along with whatever everyone else is doing. While your friends are racking up credit card debt, trying to keep up with every social event, you're building wealth by being selective about how you spend your money. The wealthy understand that every dollar has an opportunity cost. That $500 concert ticket isn't just $500. It's $500 that could have been invested and grown into $2,000 over 10 years. When you start thinking this way, saying no becomes so much easier. But saying no is just part of a bigger mindset shift that's even more powerful. Sign number 6 is you feel in control of your money. This is very similar to what I talked about with the fear of money. When you feel in control of your money and when it's trending upwards, even if you have $10,000 saved or invested, that's a very good sign that you're going to become rich. You might not be the richest person yet, but you're on the right track, and that's more valuable than having $100,000 in the bank but no financial discipline. Someone might have $100,000 saved, but then they go ahead and buy a car with a terrible payment plan just to impress someone they want to date. You're already doing so much better than that person. Feeling in control means you have a budget, you know where your money goes, and you're making intentional decisions about your financial future. You're not just hoping things work out, you're actually making them work out. This control creates confidence, and confidence creates better decisions, which creates more wealth, which creates more confidence. It's a positive cycle that compounds just like your investments. But let's get into the true final sign that separates the truly wealthy from everyone else, and you're going to hear me out fully on this point. Sign number 7 is you make financial decisions with logic, not ego. This is really the heart of personal finance and wealth building. When you make financial decisions, you ask yourself, why am I making this choice? Is it to impress somebody, or is it to make myself feel better? Or is it the logical choice of my financial future? When you start making decisions based on logic instead of emotion, based on your financial goals instead of your ego, that's when real wealth starts building. You buy the reliable used car instead of the new flashy one. You invest in index funds instead of trying to pick individual stocks to impress people. You choose the practical option that builds wealth over the exciting option that drains wealth. But now that you know these 7 signs, you're already on the path to wealth. There's a crucial difference between getting rich and staying rich, and it comes down to 10 specific habits that most people never learn even after they build wealth. So check out this video where I reveal the 10 habits rich people use to stay rich that completely goes against the grain.